asị na mgbe anyị mechara n'obodo a na-ala obodo ekwensu bụ uzu ga na-ama jijiji ndị iro ga-anọ n'ọsọ ndị ọjọọ ga-anọ n'ọsọ ndị na-agwọ nsị ga-anọ n'ọsọ ndị okwu asị ga-anọ n'ọsọ eziokwu Chineke ga-apụta ihe onye anyị ka anyị na-arịọ ugbu a na ruo mgbe niile ebido.
Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from any part of the world, I welcome you to my channel. Please, if you have not subscribed, go to the comment section now, go to the subscribing button, click subscription. Not only subscribing, also click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remember, blessed. Go to the comment section, put down your comments, whatever you feel about the channel, whatever you have noticed during the time you are watching, any argument you have, put it down in the comment section. That is a place we learn. We can communicate on the comment section, share our views, and learn from each other. Nobody knows it all. The aim and something we are pursuing that which every one of us knows is freedom. What we are looking towards is freedom. You want freedom, I want freedom, we all need freedom. That is the most important thing. And we have to continue to struggle for freedom until freedom comes, which will come very, very soon. As you all know, the government of Nigeria is a terrorist government. I'm not saying it for myself. The evidence are there to show that the government is a terrorist government. In everything they are doing, it shows that it's a terrorist government. A government that is chasing after an activist, demonizing an activist up to the extent of going after the activist to kill them. Meanwhile, a terrorist, they call them repentant terrorists and they let them go. Even pay the terrorists, they give them money as a compensation. They compensate the terrorists. Meanwhile, activists that is speaking on behalf of his own people are being mowed down. They want to kill them by all means possible. You can see what happened to Nnamdi Kanu. From the onset, they went to the home of Nnamdi Kanu to kill him, not to arrest him, because he was getting ready to come to court. They couldn't wait for him to come to court and win them in the court. They went to his house to kill him. In the process, a lot of lives were lost. The same thing they are doing to Sunday Igboho. They went to his house to kill him for committing no offense, for nothing whatsoever. They didn't even invite him to come to the station. They just went to kill him. When they failed, they declare him wanted, chasing him up to the extent of following him abroad to go and kidnap him abroad. And now, Sunday Igboho is struggling to set himself free. These are the two eyes of the South, the two strong eyes of the South, the two voices in the South that are speaking the voice of the masses. We know that the politicians we have in that country called Nigeria are not speaking for the masses. Not even the Northerners. The politicians in the North are not speaking for the poor masses because the poor masses in the North have not benefited anything from their politicians. Nothing. Just look at the way the North is now, as presently as we speak. The insecurity in the North is so terrible that the terrorists have taken over the northern part of Nigeria. Up to the extent that the terrorists have come openly to tell, to say that they have united together. We are there talking about them united together. They have elected a governor in Borno State. And you want to tell me that an ordinary person in the North is enjoying the situation? He's not enjoying it. And their politicians are doing nothing. The government, which is from the North, is doing nothing whatsoever to fight against this. Instead, he is busy chasing his own personal agenda, which is fulanization of that very contraption. They are coming to the Southeast to look for land, to dominate, to kill people, and occupy their land. That is what the government of Nigeria is busy in. These politicians do not mean well. It doesn't matter where they come from. They might come from the East, from the West, from the North, from the South. They are just the same kind of people. And why is it like that? This is a faulty foundation that was built by British. A faulty foundation built by British handed power to the Fulani Janjaweed, and since then Fulani Janjaweed have held this power, held it so strong that they do not want anybody to take it over from them. The Nigerian government is being constructed in a way that you must have to bow to the agenda of the Fulanis before you can hold any post in Nigeria. That is the absolute truth. There is no way you can be anything in the politics of Nigeria without bowing to the Fulanis. That is why your senator is not speaking on your behalf. Your governor is not standing for you. Even when they come after you to kill you, your senator cannot do anything. Neither will your governor say a word. Because the government is in hand. And that is what we have to be afraid of. And that is what we have to be mindful of to change. The grip of the Fulani Janjaweed on the indigenous people. That will water break. And the only thing that can break that grip is the unity of the southern part of Nigeria. Once the southern part of Nigeria is united, they can save every other indigenous tribe in that contraction called Nigeria. Because it is only the southern part of Nigeria where you have people who are well educated and people who are well meaning, people who are willing to share whatever they have with every other person, regardless your tribe, regardless your religion. It's only in the south you find such people. Not in the north. Not in the north. Sorry to say, not in the north. That is the situation. The political sets you see, when you see them when they are talking on the media, you will be totally convinced that Nigeria have no future. When we are talking about the breakup of Nigeria, that is the only future that Nigeria have, and the only thing that will save us from every trouble. We talk about the poverty. The only thing that can stop poverty is a breakup. Insecurity, the only thing that can bring security is breakup. Talk about the good economy, the only thing that can bring the good economy is a breakup. For it to remain the way it is, talking about one Nigeria, you will continue to die, and Nigeria will continue to be impoverished more and more. More poverty will be coming into Nigeria, and the economy will die the more. Recently, I saw a video that Nigeria have printed new currency. Is it 5,000 of how much? The currency they printed new, which they didn't even broadcast. Nobody knew about this very currency, but they have printed new currency in Nigeria that is already in use without telling anybody, without anybody knowing. Devaluating Naira without anybody knowing. Look at the video. Watch it.
Customer came here today to deposit this money in my branch. This is how the money looks like. 5,000 Naira notes. He said it's 17 million. And he claims he's a madman. Said it's 18 million, but we counted it is 17 million.
That is it. They already have new money. And this is what this will continue to happen. As long as the Fulani Janjaweed continue to control the affairs in that country called Nigeria, this will continue to happen. It can never be better. Because the politicians are not looking for your own good. They are there for their own selfish interests. The people you see as your role model among the politicians, they are being empowered by the North. What they do is divide and rule. They come to the southern part of Nigeria, they will enrich one person. Enrich one person to the extent that the person will now be adored in the south. Everybody will keep behind that person as a good man. Before you know it, the person will be going there to take instruction. Whoever becomes your governor, the person will be the sponsor. Whoever be your governor, the person appoints. And whatever they do, the person tells them what to do. This is what has been going on. How can you break this chain? If not by disintegration and breakup of Nigeria. There is no way you can break that chain. Even in the current setting, they are talking about 2023. 2023 is a done deal. They have rigged the election. Even before the election time, they have rigged it. You can see the drama that they are acting in the Senate. The election have been, everything they are putting in place is a step on how to rig the election to make sure that the person they choose stays in power. In this 21st century, that people will be rejecting transfer of result, not even election. People are already doing electronic voting. People are already in this world doing electronic voting. But now you're just talking about only transfer or result, and people are standing against it. Who are those? Even people from the southern part of Nigeria, politicians from southern part of Nigeria. A politician from Lagos State claiming that there is no network in Lagos to transfer such. Something that even INEC themselves have told us that they are ready and able to transmit results from any part of the country. INEC told us that. Maybe you have forgotten. INEC come out to tell us they can transfer results from any part of the country because the card reader can transfer that very thing. It can make the transfer. The video is everywhere for you to see. But yet, because they are playing the bidding of the Northerners, the Northern Janjaweed, the Fulani cabals, on how to rig election, they will never agree on anything that will stop that rigging, so that they can rig in the person they want. Look at what happened to Imo State. Imo State, somebody from 4th position to 1st. What can you do? They say the court have spoken. If they cannot do it in the ballot, they use the court. Court already, they have taken their own person. A Sharia judge, a Sharia lawyer, that is who they put as your chief judge. That's who they put there as your whatever you call him. How do you intend to make things work in Nigeria? Dreamer. Dreamer, how do you intend to make things work? You want Nigerians, you that is still dreaming that it's going to be well. Tell me, go to the comment section. You that is telling me it's going to be well, go to the comment section. Tell me the plans you're making and the science that shows you that Nigeria will be better tomorrow. Go and write it, and I'll be very grateful to watch it. Meanwhile, I want to share with you a video to show you that these people have nothing to offer. They are still planning more evil against you and I in the upcoming election. The kind of word you hear from them. People who are still pursuing the old agenda, who said that they will still pursue the agenda of Muhammadu Buhari no matter what matters, what concern, and the kind of people they are appointing to take power. The same set of criminals from all corners, from all parts of the country. They are still the people who are queuing up for 2023 that will never come. Let us watch this interview on Channel Television on Politics. Let's see what they have to say.
Major conversation because a lot of issues have been thrown up. Zoning, the readiness of APC for the election, whether or not PDP is ready to take over or to return to the prominence at the center in 2023 for the average Nigerian. Wherever you may be watching, either in Nigeria or across the world, let's sit tight right now because the conversation is about the spirit, soul, and body of our country, Nigeria, who leads it in 2023. You might be wondering, is it not too early to start talking about? No, it is not, because it's a good time for us to now start charting a good course for the kind of leadership that we want in 2023. Now that the APC and PDP have begun that conversation, let's get started, everyone, shall we? I have joining me tonight a very respectable gentleman from both sides of the divide, a former minority leader of the House of Representatives and a chieftain of the APC, Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu. He joins us from Birnin Kudu in Jigawa State, virtually. And here in our Lagos studio, he's a spokesperson of the PDP presidential campaign in 2019, Mr. Segun Showunmi. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight.
Thank you. Back on the soil of Nigeria.
What should I begin the conversation with? Is it from Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu or from you, Mr. Showunmi? I think it's good to begin with from Honorable Adamu Aliyu. What gives your party that confidence when the president's special assistant says, look, you cannot wish Buhari away? I mean, a lot of people may not because of the kind of votes that he brings with him at every election. 4 times he has done that, and he looks so much consistent about that taken politically. But afterwards, the president would have spent 8 years in 2023, and Mr. Shehu says, look, whatever will happen in 2023, Buhari will lead the way. What gives your party that sort of confidence?
Good evening, Nigerians and all over the world, and happy Salah celebration to the Muslims all over the world. Well, Buhari is the president today, and even when Jonathan was in power, he was a force to reckon with. But you could see how his own kind of force went. But this is the man in President Buhari that you said it correctly, that stood for election, about 6 times. And you could see the consistency of the votes that he garnered at all times, which means the people of this country still have confidence in him, which means whomever the party, APC, puts as a candidate will enjoy the support of President Muhammadu Buhari, of the developmental strategies that were put in place or are put in place in this country, the kind of infrastructural development that are happening, the cohesion of governance in this country, the transparency in how we do things. So these are some of the things that we're going to carry forward. Also the peace, at least in our party, compared to what's in other parties. My brother, the spokesperson, in fact, I'm just seeing him for the first time in a long time. I mean, the kind of members of his party in droves that keep coming to us due to the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. And I'm sure my brother, after this program, I'm going to also invite him to join APC and join the bandwagon and make sure we build Nigeria to a great country.
That's an open invitation to you, Mr. Shagushomi from the APC. It's a chieftain. Mr. Farouk Aliyu is very well connected in the APC. On a lighter note, are you taking that kind of invitation?
Can we just go straight to the important things?
No, I'm just asking you.
Shehu, let me tell you this. When I read what Garba Shehu said, and I listened to it, I asked myself, what prompts this arrogance? And you know what I did? I took the time to research the last elections that President Muhammadu Buhari had been on top of it. He had an election in 2003, he got 12,000 votes, he lost. 12 million votes, he lost. He had one against Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, he got 6 million votes, he lost. He had another one for 12 million votes in 2011 against Goodluck Jonathan, he lost. What changed in 2015? What I do not like about the APC is that they do not really do enough research on their situation. In 2015, the significant thing that happened that made them get power is that some man in Lagos, His Excellency, the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Tinubu, brought his political machinery and sophistry to them. They won in 2015. When everybody left him, Bola Tinubu still stayed by him, and he won in 2019. The question you would then ask is this. If Buhari on his own lost 3 elections without a handshake to the southwest, and Buhari is not going to be on the ballot in 2019, and they boastfully say the election is over, it must then mean that they were not part of this country when Nigerians chose to dump a sitting president for them. And therefore, when you look at all of the indices in the country, you will have to ask a few questions. Number one, do Nigerians feel safer in their country? I don't want to have an answer yes or no. They will decide that by themselves. Number two, is the cohesion that makes Nigeria a nation as strong as it will be? The last time I checked, Sunday Igboho is being hounded. The last time I checked, Nnamdi Kanu is being hounded. That means that 2 potential people from 2 of the major ethnic groups that got independence in this country must be quite uncomfortable. It's for them to interpret whether the vast majority of their citizens, including the quiet ones, support that. The third question you will have is that, how is the economy doing? Is there a lot of poverty in the land, or is there a lot of prosperity? The fourth question you will ask, what is the level of unemployment? The fifth question you will ask is, what have they been doing with debt relative to the revenues they are getting? I'll tell you what. The reason why we know that the APC is throwing all of these red herrings is because they imagine that the coercive powers of state can help them rig. But you know what? They underestimate the Nigerian people. As far as I can tell, 2023, God sparing all alive, will not be so much about APC. Neither will it be so much about PDP solely. It will be about the Nigerian people taking a stand and doing a major referendum on how they think their life has been. But you know what? Let people build castles in the sky. I can guarantee to you, they're not doing a deep dive narrative and audit of what the people in the country are feeling. And if they do, and they do not intend to cheat, and if the Nigerians do intend to resist them, they will find out that Muhammadu Buhari and his APC, they have served for too long for any good they can make, and go they will and go they must in 2023. The PDP is not yet at that level where we are talking about candidates and all of that. Why? Because we sit nervously looking at how the country is bleeding. And we would have expected from them, who are in charge of the country, that they will be saying, let us figure out a way to make sure we have a country first before we're talking about 2023. But now that they've jumped the gun, we'll tell them that, may God spare our life. We'll meet them on the ballot. Okay. And by the grace of God, Nigerians and PDP will defeat them resoundly.
I asked that question seriously. It sounded like a joke, but it's a serious question. I asked you whether or not you're going to receive or take the invitation from Honorable Aliyu. And it's on the back of the recent defection that we have seen. Some of the leaders of your party have moved. And that's why I asked you if you're going to receive it, because politicians these days, you never can tell what their next move is. I mean, you're a politician also. We never can tell. We might see you tomorrow in the APC crossing the aisle.
I tell you what, those who move to join the ruling party, they are the only ones that can provide an explanation of why they do these things. For instance, we've lost a few governors who are in their second term, and we've lost one who is in his first term. You will say, Is it that you do not trust your ability as a governor to connect with your people to such a level that you can provide leadership for them until you must run to a party that is obviously in extinction? Or if you were that convinced about the popularity of Muhammadu Buhari, why did you not follow him before we gave you our ticket? And unfortunately, the kind of country we run, people can take the heritage of a political party, because when we go to election, we don't put people on the ballot and take it to another party without any major consequence. But I believe that as we move along, the maturity will come and that will change. But to speak frankly, a political party, the APC now, that has not even been able to have its own conventions to be able to set in motion a proper executive council for its party, that keeps changing the goalposts, that has literally castrated all its principal partners, except the leak spittles of Muhammadu Buhari, who run all over the place to say that he's the best thing after jollof rice. I tell you, they will learn that in politics, 24 hours is a very long time. We expect their cacophony to come falling over them, and we expect an implosion. And the PDP naturally will be open-handed enough to be able to bring them in, because nobody must succumb to the manipulation of someone who is dictating against their goodwill.
So you will beat the APC in 2023? I
believe that, no, hear me now, hear me Nigerians. I do not believe that of the PDP's effort alone, they can beat an incumbent. APC did not beat PDP in 2011, or 2015, beg your pardon, just by the APC. They beat PDP in 2015 because the Nigerians chose that they are not going to go that way again. And I believe very soundly, except they are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome or some kind of psychosis of oppression, where they are now going to begin to clap and hail and thumbs up for somebody that is making their life difficult. I expect that the Nigerians will follow the right path and come to a party that has at least kept Nigeria united, made everybody feel a sense of belonging, and made life more abundant to all Nigerians.
Let me allow Honorable Aliyu to respond to what Shegun said. From some of the things they said, and they made reference to being beating, an incumbent being beaten. But it does look like the confidence we were seeing from your part, especially from the presidency, there's something that is happening that we do not know. Is based his argument on the performance of your government over the last 6 years. How do you react to some of those indices that he has thrown up?
Well, first of all, I honestly want channels to be bringing a bottle of water to angry people like my brother Shegun. You need to give him a glass of water, honestly, to cool down, so that we're not fighting here. We're not enemies. We're friends. We're family. We're one country. But I can understand his frustration, because PDP is probably not a party today. PDP, it's probably a combination of frustrated persons who are so angry amongst themselves that they are bleeding because members of their party are living in droves, as I said. And they are leaving because there is no leadership in PDP. They are leaving because if you stay in PDP, you are just, there is nobody there to look up to. But in our party, in our government, we have the president who, no matter what people like Shegun and Co. talk about, they cannot compare President Buhari with presidents that have ruled this country under the PDP. It's a person with impeccable integrity, proven integrity. And look, let's come about the governance itself. It's anybody in this country, like members of the PDP like him, saying that where he comes from, his state, where he comes from, there is no difference between the time we came in and now, is not true. Look at the kind of infrastructure this government is trying to put in the country. Look at how much money we are putting to ensure that farmers go to farm. Let's see how we are trying to improve in the economy. Despite the fact that the whole world is under recession, this country is under recession as well, because this country is not an island. So you see, when I speak to, when you guys pitch us with people that are angry with themselves, that cannot come and talk about facts, can only talk about personalities, not about us as a people, as a country. And when you spoke about Igboho, Nnamdi Kanu being hounded, how? These are people that are bringing division in the country. Igboho is somebody who does not believe in Nigeria. And now he's talking, my brother Shegun is talking about Nigeria. Where he comes from, there's an Igboho there who is trying to divide this country. And no government will sit by and watch people like Igboho or Nnamdi Kanu trying to divide the country. And this government will not sit and allow that to happen. And we as a government go after such people, will ensure we bring them to book, because we need to secure this country. We need to have one country before we start talking about elections and so on. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. And we have a government to run. And you know, I told you we were in opposition, and we can understand some of these things that supporting opposition parties talk about. Like, you know, when you're in opposition, whatever the government in power does, you will not see good in it. Well, I am sure my brother Shegun probably can go on a train now from Ibadan to Lagos, which was not there before. And I'm sure my brother Shegun can see that Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is going on. And I'm sure my brother Shegun will see so many things that this government is trying to do. And look, PDP has collapsed, his party. In fact, I am taking back that invitation I'm giving to him, because he will come begging me as his friend to want to come and then to see whether I'm going to take him or not. But honestly, on a serious note, PDP is gone. PDP will not come in 2023. We shall, by the grace of God and the grace of Nigerians, continue to be in power. And just like what the secretary of our party said, we are going to come in unison to either by consensus or by whatever means to make sure we bring out a candidate that will be acceptable to Nigerians, that will continue with what Muhammad Buhari is doing, and that will also definitely get the backing of President Muhammad Buhari and all the things that we put in place to ride on back of those things to ensure APC continues to be in government come 2023 and moving forward.
So, apart from the Buhari personality, so the question is, because Mr. Shehu said, look, in 2023, the president will lead the way. That means that he's talking about the president having to make a major decision on who governs this country in 2023. So he was arguing about the credibility that's perhaps left for your party to go into an election in 2023. Aside the Buhari personality that comes with about 10 million votes at every time, at every outing that he goes for election, does your party have that kind of clout again to win election in 2023?
Well, first of all, that 10 million votes will still go nowhere, because President Buhari will be there by the grace of God. And President Muhammad Buhari is not going to anoint a successor. No. The successor of Muhammad Buhari is going to come through consensus and agreement of the party leaders and followers. The party is going to decide who becomes a candidate, and that candidate will automatically become President Muhammad Buhari's candidate. So the 12 million votes of Muhammad Buhari will be transferred to whoever the party anoints as the candidate. And so Buhari is there by the grace of God. He will campaign with our candidate. The policies of this government, whatever we're doing now, will continue to thrive to ensure that, look, without APC, there might not be any party again. And look, it is there proven that members of his party, leaders from his party across the world, across the country, are moving in.
All right, then. I think we lost the connection with him. We are due for a break in about a minute and a half or so. Give me a sense of this statement. You're a politician and you understand the mathematics of election. Can you wish a candidate Buhari or a politician Buhari? I call him politician because when it comes to election, he has consistently come with his own credit. Can you wish him away, as Mr. Garba Shehu said?
Shehu, there are only two people in the APC that give me headache. I'm worried about Governor Yahya Bello because of some of the footprints I see him doing, and he's young, he can connect to the right audience. And I am worried about Bola Ahmed Tinubu because I know the huge political infrastructure he has and how many years he's been at this political game. Buhari was not an issue. between 2003 to 2011 when he contested 3 times and he carried his so-called votes all over the place and he was beaten. He was only helped by the efforts of Bola Tinubu. And when I look at how they treat Bola now, it will be interesting to see how they will expect to castrate a man and then expect him to go all the way to help them. But that's their baby.
So you see an advantage in an APC man, Yaya Bello.
No, the reason why I said I was a bit worried about Yaya Bello's efforts is that I've seen that of all of them, he's the only one who has been consistently taking steps to try to cut people. I saw him do a media event for journalists. I saw him do another one for political editors. I saw him try to get young people. So if you're looking for the people in the middle, you will think that, okay, I need to be putting my eyes on this guy. And Bola Tinubu, you put your eye on him because you just know the huge infrastructure for politics that he has. But Muhammadu Buhari is...
So you can wish him away.
I'm not going to wish him away. I'm going to spit him out of my mouth. You know why? He lost 3 elections all by himself.
I'd like you to hold the breath for a moment because we need to take
I need to deal with some of the issues you raised.
Just a moment. You have time to do that. I broke into your line of thought earlier. So I'll allow you to land.
Thank you.
You mentioned Bola Tinubu, Yaya Bello, but one will wonder, what about the others?
Listen.
So, but you said 2 of them.
I said
worries you.
I said you asked me whether I was concerned about Buhari, I said
you want to wish him away.
I said I don't wish him away. I spit him away. I said I was more concerned about 2 people. I said I was concerned about Yaya Bello because of the things I saw him do, and I was concerned about Bola Tinubu because of his humongous infrastructure. Just to let you know that Buhari lost 3 elections back-to-back by himself. Until Bola came on board, he didn't get anything. And in terms of the young votes, I'm worried about Bello because I see what he's doing. But all of the things that Farouk is saying, the one that bothers me, Farouk is my friend, but he just dropped the ball. No Democrat will wish his nation to become a one-party state. I marvel at their need to be harvesting PDP governor, blackmailing them, putting them under sort of pressure, doing whatever they like to get them in. But do you know what? At the end of the day, if elections have integrity, every man has just 1 vote. And the APC, the party he belongs to, have just demonstrated we're at a point where we're looking for an improvement of the electoral process, where the human intervention and interference will be limited. Guess what happened at the vote? All of the APC senators voted no to electronic transmission. I ask you, if there be real numbers in those, there are 12 million, 13 million that they are bandishing all over the place, if they not be underage numbers, if they not be cooked up numbers, if they not be fraudulently acquired numbers, why would you not want to transmit it electronically? And to imagine that a political party in government is so weakened, is so scared, that it must now say all of its members, no matter what their private persuasion should be, must vote no to electronic transmission. Nigerians, you already got a verdict on them. They are not running a democracy. They come before us and brandish Buhari as if we're in a monarchy. The 2023 elections in Nigeria will be determined by Nigerians. We have about 80 million ready-to-vote Nigerians. The last time Buhari won an election, or where he was allocated an election in 2019, he got only 15 million. In between is still a very large, young set of people. And for the youth corpers that was hoarded into his house to be shaking him, and for the villagers that were moved to the street to be, we know how these things are done. We've been president before. We understand the coercive power and the manipulative power and the weaponization of poverty. But the truth is that the Nigerians will take a decision in 2023.
All right.
And we will know whether this nation is a nation of people who like to reinforce failure and even their own punishment. But certainly, if they go by what common sense dictates, everybody must be getting their PVC ready to send Buhari and his Janjaweed alone. We've never had it this bad. Nigeria was a nation. We handed the nation to them.
That may be a strong word.
I know. We handed
it. Maybe condescending. I just wanted to use
okay, all right. We handed a nation. We handed a nation to them that was united. They're barely able to keep it together now. And they want to win an election.
Let's bring back...
Very funny indeed.
Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu. I'd like you to react. He said a few things. Yeah, but I understand that we lost connection with you earlier, so you couldn't land on that thought. If you could land on the thought you were on earlier and also respond to what Mr. Showme said.
Well, you see, honestly, unfortunately, my brother Shegun, I'm not going to go as low as he's going. You know, I said we are conversing as Nigerians. We're talking, you know, to the people of this country and to the world to be civilized people. But his language is not that of civility. So my brother Shegun, please, President Buhari is an elder statesman, leader, you're president, whether you like it or not. There are certain words that shouldn't come out from somebody like you, my friend. So anyway, but look, you see, we still come back to the people, and let us not sit on the television through rhetorics and interviews, castigate the members of National Assembly. In any case, we have laws in this country. In the wisdom of the members of the APC who are elected, some from his state decided to vote the way they voted. Now, if the people in his state feel that what the members of APC did as regards to the Electoral Act, let Nigerians decide who exactly should lead Nigeria. All we are saying, as a government, as a people, as a responsible government, a responsible party, we have put in our programs, we have put in things we're doing for the people to see and decide. And nobody is saying that Nigeria should be one party. But Nigerians, in their wisdom, are coming into APC in droves. And nobody also is saying there shouldn't be opposition. We love opposition. We want them to come and oppose. But look, also, if my friend and brother, Shegun, will wish Buhari away, and let him know that the crowd Buhari moves in this country, even before he became president, where was the caution there? The people that move for Buhari, the masses of this country that move along with him are still there. And they are there. And just like what Garba said, despite the COVID, Nigerians still have confidence in Mr. President, knowing that there is nothing done intentionally by him or by this government to bring about hardship to the people. No, everything that happens in the wrong way, nobody is telling you that everything we're doing as a government is right. Nobody is telling you that there are no challenges in this country, but are there ways and means deliberately by the government to put things in place in the right perspective? Yes, there are. That's exactly what we are doing. This government is trying as much as possible to improve in the economy. No government in this country has ever done social intervention programs, including in his hometown, where people get monies like largesse due to the COVID and also to sustain poor people in villages where he and I come from. 5,000 naira, it's a lot of money. This government dishes out this kind of money. You have the trader money, you have these school feeding programs, you have a lot of programs in agriculture and so on, just to make sure the people of this country feel the impact of governance. But we as the elites, like I and Shegun as friends and family, should talk to the people of this country in a manner which they will understand that. Let me and Shegun play party together and so on. I mean, then when we come on TV, we start talking as if we are not human beings. Nigerians need good government. This government is trying its best. Whether we can improve on what we are doing, yes, as the government we can. Whether there are certain things
to ask, Honorable Aliyu, the question I would like to ask is, and I did that earlier on, is whether or not you think in your sincere and honest mind that Nigerians are convinced with the deal they're getting from the President Buhari's administration and the APC to warrant the APC being voted again in 2023. That's a critical question, isn't it?
Okay. Well, yeah, of course. Look, there are some frustrations among Nigerians, with our government, understandably. Now, let's take like the security situation. When we came in, we promised to deal completely with Boko Haram. Did we do it? No, we didn't. We have not achieved that milestone we wanted to achieve. So there are some frustration and disappointment from people of this country as regards to that. which is true. But are we doing something? Yes, we are. You could see that, look, the slush funds of the defense money that was taken away during their government, when monies were stolen for defense purposes, nobody is stealing that kind of money again. Look at also the investment in the hardware, military hardware, the investment in recruitment to ensure that we bring this security situation to its minimal situation. So that's some of the things we're doing that the government see, the people see the sincerity in what we're doing, that, look, are we genuine? Yes, we are genuine. And
because, the question here, the reality is that in politics, it is a different kettle of fish when you are doing something. And whether or not the voters are convinced enough. And so when I use that word advisedly, of course, that whether or not Nigerians are convinced enough, like they did, for example, if, based on the votes in 2015.
Yeah, because you see, why I'm telling you they are convinced, first of all, we will get to know whether they are convinced after the election. But as of today, we are convinced Nigerians will vote for APC. And I thank my friend. At least, if nothing, he sees two persons in my party, Bola Tinubu and Yahya Bello. They are not members of PDP. He sees some good in them. They are members of our party. And I'm sure Bola Tinubu and Yahya Bello.
Okay, let me bring back, let me bring back Farouk. Let me bring back Mr. Showme. So the question is this. The APC will ask you the question. We gave you a bloody nose in 2015. It was repeated in 2019. It was gushing, and as that bloody nose dried up, for you to regain the consciousness to win election in 2023.
Okay, I'll come to that in a second.
No, you have to answer
I will.
before you go into because I don't want you to derail yourself.
Let me tell you first of all, in 2015, what happened? The president of Nigeria, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, being the kind of Democrat that he was, allowed the democratic space to be good enough for anybody to be able to contest and even win. Even when a lot of people in the party had issues with that election, he just felt it was better for Nigeria for us to let it go. And we let it go without any sweat. In 2019, the elections that I was the spokesperson of His Excellency Waziri Atiku Abubakar, we hold the view that we defeated them. There is no way we are going to ever accept that they are sitting on anything other than a stolen mandate. Therefore, we know that they know how to lose. Buhari, that the bandit, has lost 3 times. I mentioned Bola because he's the one that made them win on the 2 occasions that they won. And I believe that he's not going to help them going forward because there's no reason for any sane man who has been treated the way he's been treated to make them win. I mentioned the Arabello that I'm nervous a bit because I see him cutting young people and he's young and I do not know what young people will do. I don't have a crystal ball. But let me tell you where his issues are. You can't tell me that you are working and you are doing well when you are using 43% of your 2022 revenue as projection to manage debt. 43% for debt. Do you know what the figures are unemployment for 2021 is? The last figures I'll say is 31%. 33.1%. You know what that means? It means that whatever it is that they are doing, they are not creating jobs. So 33% of Nigerians, more than a third of them, are out of job. How is that working? Then it also means that they're using 43% of the monies that they can possibly get to service that. You know what they're doing? The problem with these guys is that they think that governance is a circus. When you go to a circus, a pantomime will be throwing tricks and people will be clapping. But it is the responsibility of serious stakeholders to look at the numbers, to look at what's going on. Let me tell you, the 5 major issues why Buhari and his party must not win. 1, the country has never been this divided. I'm not even sure that in your own known history, you have seen Nigerians this agitated for succession. We used to talk about restructuring. We used to talk about resource control. We never used to spend so much energy on succession. They caused that. Number 2, we've never had a situation where he is sitting in his state, and even Daura and all of the environment, the emir of Kajura was crying only because of banditry. Then number 3, we don't even have money. People can hardly feed. Number 4, the general holding down of the media and attempting to gag them. We're not used to that. We had the media even in a dictatorship, and our media was considered vibrant. We are in a democracy. They've banned Twitter. They are threatening to ban everybody bannable. They've just done a release to all media houses. All of the newspapers, sometimes last week, had a picture with people having their mouth gagged and saying, no, we're going to... Why? We're in a democracy. You have carried the 2019 election. Everybody has left you with it because there's nothing else we can do. But that does not mean that we're going to allow you to create our country into a fiefdom of the Buhari people who will now be thinking that once Buhari raises somebody's hand, that's the end of the election.
All right, then. Let's get back to the conversation on this 2023 presidency. It's a crucial matter because it will determine the future of this country and where we are going next. But let's allow Mr. Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu to react to some of the issues raised by Mr. Shomi.
Yeah, you see, some of the things I wanted to say, you know, our party and our leader, completely different from his party and his leaders. Back in the days, we remember when a certain president of PDP, who impeached 2-3 governors in this country. In this country, as of today, we have governors of Rivers and governor of Benue, who probably consistently attack the personality of this president. The president had never, ever, ever attempted to do anything against the law of this country. And look at how the government of this country dishes out legitimate earnings of all the states without, you know, discrimination. And this is the same country where APC government with President Buhari sitting, when we lost Bayelsa, governor of Bayelsa won by APC, but decided back in the days, the government would probably have intervened. We lost Edo State, we lost Adamawa, we lost so many things, so many places, including the Zamfara state. We didn't intervene. And you remember also when he was speaking about hounding people, Sunday Igboho he spoke about, a carry member of PDP who appeared on a rally in Lokoja saying that they came to defeat Yahya Bello. So you see, which means some of these secession movements in this country are fueled by members of the PDP. And look, whether PDP will say we are hounding them, this government will continue to hound in secessionist people because we fought war. More than 1 million people died in this country. And now the country is united. So we will not allow anybody under the guise of party or anything to divide this country. Not anymore. Now, back to what he's talking about. Whether Nigerians will have confidence in us, I am telling you, Nigerians have complete confidence in APC, and that come 2023, I assure him that if elections happen, God forbid, APC loses, we will also concede defeat because we have this country as our country. This country does not belong to APC, does not belong to Buhari, does not belong to anybody. This country belongs to Nigerian people. As of today, the Nigerian people have voted for President Muhammadu Buhari and APC. So the government of the day is run by us, members of the APC, and if we lose election, we'll concede defeat. I am assuring him.
Is there, Honorable Aliyu, is there any indication that election might not hold in 2023? You said if election holds.
Yeah, what I'm saying if, because first of all, you and I are not even sure we're going to live till tomorrow. But this government has put everything in place, elections to take place. Remember in northeastern part of this country, where we had like war, the Boko Haram, elections took place in IDP camps. So this government is putting everything in place to ensure, in fact, elections shall take place come 2023. We as a government shall do everything possible to ensure the next government is installed. Whichever, I assure you that government of APC shall be democratic, shall concede defeat if we are defeated. But we're not going to sit down and lose the election because we will do everything possible to ensure Nigerians have confidence in us and vote for us to continue as leaders of this country.
As we wrap up now, the conversation, basically what Mr. Garba shared, one of the things he mentioned is that, according to him, they've done a lot of work and they wouldn't just close their eyes and hand over the country to other people who are going to squander. And he mentioned the fact that during your party's administration, he alleged that there's squandering of the nation's wealth.
You know, I've always liked when they make this kind of highfalutin and extremely irritating comments. Most of the people they've taken to court have really not been able to be convicted, so let's just leave that. And I think that when it comes to what they say they're doing, 5 questions. Number 1, can you serve me when you're killing me? If I'm losing my brothers, I'm losing my cousins, I'm losing my sisters, and you say you're serving me, that's a problem. Can you be truly growing the economy when the price of food is as high as it's been? We've never bought Gary at the price we're buying, so tell me, where is the proceed of agriculture? Number 3, if we don't even have a country that everybody is together because of the excessive nepotism, what have you really done? Number 4, if you have put the entire nation, including the unborn ones, into debt, and we could wake up tomorrow morning and become receivers, and another country will just come and say they now own us because of the amount of debt they are piling, how am I going to be happy then? Number 5, if they do not even have the civility of language to understand that when there's a problem on the country and a problem on the table, it's too early to be talking and trumping their chest about winning an election, disregarding Nigerians. I would just say, Nigerians, the country belongs to you, belongs to us together. It's for you to determine whether they've served you well, and it's for you to determine whether your lives are well, and therefore, do not make the mistake that you will not take advantage of the continuous voters registration going on to get your PVC, and let's just put an end to this nightmare. We are holding our breath.
Okay, so I take that as a final word. Mr. Farouk Adamu Aliyu, if you have 10 seconds for your final word, 10 seconds. We need to close now.
Well, the 10 seconds is, I wish my brother well, and I wish Nigerians well, and I hope Nigerians we the elites will continue to unite this country, will continue to be of unity. And this government will continue to unite the people of this country, will continue to pray, will continue to do the right things, and we want the Nigerians to decide whichever way they want the country to continue to whether it's APC or PDP. We need Nigeria first. We have a country, and then this country, it's above everybody.
Farouk Adamu Aliyu, former minority leader and APC chieftain, thank you so much for your time. And Mr. Segun Showumi, spokesperson of the PDP presidential campaign in 2019. Thank you so much for coming.
Nigerians, take your country back.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
After listening to these clowns, you can see they have nothing to offer. The only option, the so-called PDP, the only option and people they say they are scared of, somebody from PDP, he's mentioning Yaya Bello. What does Yaya Bello have to say? What does he have to show? Yaya Bello that was not able to pay workers, that's owing his workers up to 3 years, that have destroyed Kogi State. Yaya Bello that even killed a woman of PDP because she was contesting against him. She burnt her alive in her home. That is the person that is called. Somebody is supposed to be in prison. Is the person that they say they are scared. Maybe he is going to win the election. Who again? Tinubu. Look at Tinubu. Tinubu that have destroyed life, destroyed Lagos State, has no good record in whatsoever. A criminal, a drug baron, is the person they are still proposing, the names they are calling. And the other clown from APC is saying that they will still pursue the agenda of Buhari until thy kingdom come. And you are there having hope that Nigeria is going to be better. Shame unto you. Shame. The earlier you wake up and begin to join the campaign of disintegration of this country, the better. That is the only way you can survive. It doesn't matter where you are from. Even if you are from the north. Once the country disintegrates, you will be very serious to counter the problem that is in your home. Because you are looking to the south, you are looking towards the south. That is why you are not able to tackle the insecurity that has overcome you. Tackle the terrorists that have taken over you. Well, just like one of my brothers, Simon Ekpa, said, maybe you are much more comfortable in the caliphate. That is why you don't care. Because what the agenda they are pursuing, the terrorists, is to have an Islamic nation. And just like my brother Simon Ekpa said, that every Muslim will be much more comfortable to be in an Islamic state than in a secular state. Maybe that is what you want. So why don't you allow us who want a secular state to go our separate ways and have our nation? We want to go our ways and have a secular state in the south. We want to have a secular state in the south. Have our own nation, create nations, no matter the tribe. Even if they are tribe people, let them be in their own nation. Let us leave us alone and go with your whatever agenda you have. Have your peace, build your caliphate without any stuff. If we want to visit, we can visit there. Sometimes you see some idiots coming to tell us that you don't want the country to disintegrate because you don't want to use the visa to go to Kanu. But you can use visa to go to London. You use visa to go to other places. What difference does that make? What difference does make using visa go to other places? What problem? What is a problem with it? Is it not better you go with a visa, be recognized and respected that you are a foreigner, you'll be respected, given all respect that you deserve, then you come back safe and alive? Is it not better for you to walk in there without any protection before they cut off your head just because maybe you didn't want to know, they cut off your head? Which one is better? Is it for you to go without visa and die, or to go with visa and live? Those are the stupid arguments they are making. Some of them will come out and tell you that they don't want to leave the South. They don't want the South to go because they have friends in the South. They have families, they have this. Don't we have families abroad? We are married abroad. We have wives all over the world. We have wives and friends all over the world. Has the distance stopped us? Let alone in Nigeria that you can move in within some hours. These are the flimsy excuses they are bringing. These politicians have nothing to offer. It is better we break it up and start a new foundation that will favor you and I. That is my message. May Chukwu Okike protect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May Chukwu Okike continue to strengthen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wherever he is. May Chukwu Okike continue to strengthen Sunday Igboho, protect Sunday Igboho and save him wherever he is. May Chukwu Okike protect everyone that is fighting for a legitimate cause in that very country called Nigeria. Every truthful person. May God protect them and keep them alive. Thank you so much for watching and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again on the next video.